Today we're going to learn how to make a digital signage software using very minimum code and very minimum amount of tools to create this. This is going to show you how to go ahead and build an application to your spec using no cool tools like Make, which we're going to be using today, Webflow as our front-end designer, and Google Sheets as our back-end engine. This is just going to show you a really quick way how to integrate it all together using very simple tactics, and then we'll get into more in depth as we go through this. So let's jump right into this. I'm already inside of Make. If you guys don't know what Make is, I'll go here, Make. Make is a very powerful software to create automated workflows. We're going to be heavily using this tool throughout the series here. But just keep in mind, everything that I'm using today is all 100% free for starting. And, of course, you can sign up for more intense processes and operations, but this is all going to be free, so you can go ahead and use it for your own local business or maybe your business idea to go ahead and build into something awesome. So let's go jump right back into Make. Essentially what we want to do is we want to connect applications here. So right now I have a very basic Google Sheet here called Digital Signage Menu, and I'll go ahead and zoom in just a little bit here so we can all see. All right, so I have name, description, image, item ID, and collection ID. So you're probably asking what the item ID and collection ID. We'll go ahead and kind of go overview all these tools, and then in later videos we'll go more in depth so you guys can understand things. But feel free to comment below and ask any questions or anything that you need additional help with. So let's go ahead and just start writing some things down here. Let's go ahead and what we want to name our first sign. So let's go ahead and call this Automated Labs. Let's go ahead and set a description. Let's go ahead and grab an image. And that's pretty much it. All we need: name, description, and image. I'm going to go ahead and just highlight this a little bit here just so I can make it a little bit cleaner and turn off the text wrapping so it doesn't overflow, and just clip it. So that way it just cuts off on each column. And then we're going to go ahead and stop right here and go back into our empty project here on Make, and just call this our digital signage. Okay, and we'll save this. We'll go ahead and grab that Google Sheet. So right here we can hit the plus sign. All this is module based, so it's very nice and intuitive on how you're going to go ahead and build this. I already have them pre-selected here, but if you needed to find it, you could type in Google Sheets here. And as you can see, there's a lot of different integrations that can happen on this application, but we'll just go with Google Sheets. And then what we want to do is we want to just go ahead and watch the rows. Watching the rows is going to require another application installed on your Google Sheet, but before we get into that, let's go ahead and jump into our second piece of this tool to really get this working, and we're going to jump into Webflow. Webflow is a really great product to go ahead and build powerful websites. There's a lot of things that you can do here, very fluid and all that, and we're going to definitely go into a lot more tutorials here to show you how to build sites on Webflow. But in this case, we're just building a very simple project here. So we're just going to make an empty site. And as we do that, it's going to quickly create our environment here. And again, I'll zoom in just a little bit here just so we can all see. And this is not so much to show you how to do the web design, so that's going to be in later videos on this channel, but We're just going to go through a very simple process here. So we're just going to skim through some of these areas here. And what we want to do is, if you don't know what a digital signage, I'll go ahead and Google that for you. So digital signages are used everywhere. If you've gone to Taco Bell, Burger King, airports, concert venues, anywhere, even the movie theater, they use digital signage to display information, as you can see here, where it has information on a TV screen, and all this information is coming from somewhere. So we're going to build something like that inside this no code environment. Very powerful, very easy, and really nice looking. So we're just going to simply go ahead and create a section. Inside that section, we're going to add a collection. A collection is a database of information. So think of it as each row in our Google Sheet will feed in an additional information that we need in our data path here. And all these are considered items. So as you can remember, we have an item ID and a collection ID. So the collection ID will be linking to our database in Webflow, and then the specific item inside of Webflow where we can update that information, since those signs usually need to be updated on a regular basis, and this is what we're going to be using to make that happen. So let's go ahead and jump into Webflow again, and let's create the database before we go too far. So we're going to go ahead and hit the CMS, create a new collection, and we call this digital signage. We can really call it anything we want. And we're just going to mimic the names here. So what do we have? Name, description, and image. So we're going to go ahead and already have a name, a slug. The slug is also considered a URL to the specific item in the collection or database. And then we're going to go ahead and add another text area and call this description area. And we'll make this a multi-line area. Finally, we'll go in here and add our image. Sign image. And that's it. We've already created the database that we need to go ahead and create the digital signage. The great thing about Webflow here is we can also create some sample items here. So we can style everything before we go ahead and do the formal integration. So we're going to go ahead and do 5 items here. And we've already gotten those 5 items. And we're going to go and call this, we're going to create a button. And we're just going to say this button is go to sign. Really going to go very simple here, so that way you can see how easy this is. So go to sign. Inside that section, we're going to again add that collection. I deleted it by mistake. And now you see our digital signage collection here, and you'll see all 5 demos that we've created. And we're just going to run this button right inside of the collection. And as you can see, it's duplicated it 5 times. The reason why is because we have 5 items in here. So that gives us a kind of like a dashboard-ish where we can go ahead and get into each individual digital sign. From here, we're going to go ahead and just add a little bit of spacing. We'll go with 10 padding here. And again, we're not trying to make this very beautiful. We're just trying to show the concept here so you can grasp it. In later videos, we can get into more design and everything. So we'll go ahead and just center that there and have this button. We want this button to go to that sign. So that sign resides on a separate page. Remember how the slug that I showed you earlier, or URL? We want these buttons to go to those URLs. So this purple button is what connects you to those collection pages. And we want it to go to the current digital sign for that specific sign. And then we're just going to add a header here, just so we have information of what those buttons are. And the great thing about Webflow collections is we can dynamically connect information, and this is going to be super crucial when we go ahead and do the integration with Google Sheets to pull in data. So we have this header, we want to pull it from our name. So now you can see all the demo names here. And we can go ahead and hit a new item here, and we want to just add an image. Inside the image, we'll just get the sign image. And there you go, it's pulled all those images in. And now this is starting to come together. But this is just a demonstration page so we can get into the sign. So let's go ahead and go to the digital sign template in the CMS collection here on the left. Inside here, this is where you see all the individual pages, all the individual signs. So let's say we have 5 signs we want to operate from here. So we have 5 signs that we're going to work from. And here is where we create our sign. So think about this being on a television, a billboard, or anything like that. That's what we're going to be using here. So let's go ahead and bring in our header again. Okay, and let's go and just create a section here. Put that in there. And then we want to go ahead and add a text block as our long description. Okay, and then our image. All right, it's looking great already. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a little bit of space here. All right, and we'll just change the background color just a little bit. We'll put it to black, put our text. Let's go with white just to simplify this. Okay. All right, great. And the great thing about Webflow is it already has a tool to responsively make something. So of course we're working in a large scale here, so we can scale this to 1920, which is a regular TV size. And this is something what we would see on the TV. So as you can see, the image is banked a little bit to the left. So what we want to do is we want to create a space where everything is all centered. So we'll go here, we'll kind of do the vertical flex. And that way it stretches everything. And as you can see, some of this text is a little bit small. We can go here and up the text size. We'll go 20, and we'll add some really good amount of space there. And we'll go for 40 here. All right. So as you can see, the background is still kind of white down there. So we'll go ahead and color that black as well. And we are pretty much ready to go ahead and connect the solutions together using Google Sheets and Make. But you're going to have to watch the next video because this is where we're stopping. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to drop it in the comments below, and stay tuned for the next episode where we go ahead and start connecting everything with Google Sheets and Make and really create a dynamic digital sign product, and we'll do some styling and everything like that so it can look really nice. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to check you guys out soon.